Hello, everyone. I pray your day is going well. Man, God is so good. I don't think y'all really understand how faithful, how magnificent God is. God is so gracious that He continually give us warnings in preparation because He want to see us do so good. He want to see every last one of us to succeed, be winners. As I got in God present today, talking to God, praying to Him, and normally when I do my devotional time with Him, I will get up, I will go into prayer, and then when I get done in prayer, I read the Word. And as I was reading today, I got into Deuteronomy 6, and God began to talk to me through this message, which is a word for us all. And I'm going to share with you what God began to say to me and how I know that God is truly preparing us. But the main thing is He don't want us to forget what it is that He has done, what it is that He's doing. And when we reach to the place that we have so desired, He don't want us to turn our back on Him. Because remember, if it wasn't for Him, we wouldn't be where we at today. Because even if we look back, no matter what it is that we're facing right now, we are not where we used to be. We're not. We have so many blessings to count. We might lose numbers in counting because He has done so much for us. But many of us don't want to acknowledge that. But God's saying what He's about to do right now, He wants us to acknowledge the thing that He is doing. So Deuteronomy 6, verse 10, it states, "When the Lord your God bring you into the land swore to your father, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give you a land with large, flourishing cities. You did not build houses filled with all kinds of good things. You did not provide. Wells you did not dig, and vineyards and olive groves you did not plant. Then when you eat and are satisfied, be careful that you do not forget the Lord who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery." And when I was reading this, God was ministering to me. He said, "Daughter, tell the people what I'm about to do is so great, above the thoughts of the mind. But I don't want them to forget about me." Then He brought up the 10 men that had leprosy. And out of those 10 men, one came back and thanked God. And that is so sad. And I'm sure those 10 men, when they had leprosy, were talked about, neglected, pushed around, all kinds of things. But yet God delivered them and brought them out of the situation they were in so that they can have a peace of mind. But yet they forgot about the person who have helped them. And I know y'all can relate to this. I know you can think of a time that you reached out your hand and you helped someone. Not only that you helped someone, you helped them carry on to the next level in their life, but just to turn around and not tell you thank you, or to turn around and not remember you as you was there to help them. Even all the way to the point where you gave your last to an individual to help them out, and yet they don't acknowledge all the things that you have done. We can relate to the feeling of what God would feel of rejecting or not acknowledging or forgetting what he has done. And so what God's saying is to my people, to my brother and sister on today, don't forget about what God is doing in your life. Don't forget about what God has done. Don't forget about God when you get to your destination through the help of him, lending you a hand, pulling you out of Egypt, pulling you out of so many different things to bring you to a blessed place that's filled with milk and honey, peace surpass all understanding. So don't let your blessings take you to a place to the point to where you forget about God. Don't do that. Don't do that. So today, I'm telling you, it is so profound what God is saying. Is basically telling us over and over again, don't forget about him when he take you where he's taking you. Because many of us is reaching higher levels. Many of us is going places, as I said before, that we never, ever encounter or saw. See, although he gave us visions that we saw where we was heading, but some of these areas we ain't never saw. These are bonuses. So my brother and my sister, my friend in Christ, do not forget about God after he take you to this blessed place. Many of us know that God is doing something in this season, taking us so high in him in levels, and I mean, just you name it. It's a blessing what he's doing. But don't let that affect you from keep serving God. You know, not just get to a place of, oh, well, let me make sure I remind him that I love him, or, you know, thank him for my blessings, but continually stay in God's presence, because it just don't stop there. See, many of us, we would receive what God give us at that moment because that's what we have been probably wanting and needing and desiring. And once we get it, we feel like that's enough. But God said, no, strive for more because I have more for you. But in order to continue to receive that more, you have to stay in God's presence. When I'm talking, is what I see is it's like going to the store. You get what you need, but eventually you run out. Then what happens is when you run out, what? You have to go back to the store to restock up. But let this not be your story of having to keep restocking if you stand in God's presence, that it can continue to flow. Continue to flow. So all I'm saying is today, don't forget about God. Don't forget about what he's doing. Don't forget about what he has already done. Because as of today, it's all up from here. Please trust what I'm saying. You don't understand. If you don't believe me, go to God yourself. Ask God, what prophet is Angie talking about? She's saying this and saying that. I'm sure he'll tell you the same thing. I just want to share this with you, what God was sharing with me. Don't forget about God. I wanted to share this with you, but I don't know who this is for. You know, I hear the Lord saying, keep standing in my presence. I'm delivering and changing things right now. Although you can't see it, but it's not made for you to see right now. It's made for you to depend on him. Have faith in him. God said, this faith level that you're struggling with is going to be beneficial where he's taking you. And that's the reason why not everything you're able to see what you desire to see, because it's all about depending on him. Because once you get the ideal of dependent on him, then when it's time for the next transition, your faith will be sold out into him. Keep your faith and your eyes upon God as he transitioning things. And not only that, I just keep hearing faith. Faith. Faith without work is dead. Faith. Where do you want your faith to take you? Faith. Because this faith is going to show you it wasn't nothing but God that did it. That's why he's operating. You asking questions. That's the reason why he's operating the way he's operating. Because he wanted to be known that it's him that is doing the things that you're seeking and you're asking. But it's building you up. It's building your spirit man up. It's building you up on a whole nother level. But while being built up, this is going to help you into every season that you enter to, every door that you walk through. It is required. Because your testimony is going to be a domino effect for those that need to hear your testimony to help them come out of what they're going through, or even have patience to wait on the Lord. Because your story is what's going to help them. Your story is going to hit millions and millions of people. Because think about it, when you share your testimony, that person shares your testimony that helped them. And then they share that testimony of someone that helped that person and that person. It goes on like a domino effect. So let your testimony do what it do. That's all I wanted to share on today. I pray that it be a blessing to you. As I've always said, if you know someone that needed to hear a word, let it be a blessing to them. Share it. It doesn't hurt to share a word. Someone always needs a word of encouragement. You know, I always thought that what I'm doing now, I always wish that I would have had that back then. But it wasn't meant for me to have certain particular things back then, which forced me to trust God and get in God's face and get in his presence. And doing so, I'm glad that it went that way, because that's how I became who I am today. Trusting and depending on the Lord. Not man, but thank God that he sent people my way to give me a word of encouragement. But it's nothing like when God give it to you himself. Have a great day. As Jesus Christ loves you, know that I love you too. Be blessed.